Recently, Reddit has decided to go the way of Twitter in trying to charge people an obscene amount of money for their API usage. What used to be relatively inexpensive is now going to cost millions of dollars. And there's probably two reasons why Reddit is doing this. Number one is that they are going to IPO soon. And when a company IPOs, they want as much money as possible, they want to make their earnings look great, and they want to have their angel investors be able to become demons, sell everything, and dip. So as much money as they can have during that first quarter, that's what they want. And not only that, but maybe even a bigger reason is that Reddit really likes it when you use their website or their application on mobile. There has been multiple third-party apps that existed to use Reddit for years. As a matter of fact, on Android, there used to be third-party apps before the official app existed. Things like Bacon Reader, Apollo, and Boost were apps that people used before Reddit existed on Android. But now that Reddit has an Android app, an iPhone app, they want to try to consolidate that and have their app be the only app. Now, if third parties want to spend millions of dollars, Reddit figures, fine, we'll take that money, but if not, great, you now have to use their app. And other than the fact that they now get more ad revenue and they get more money, Reddit has the freedom to make certain decisions that basically force you to use their product in a certain way. For example, if you go over on mobile and you try to look at a certain link, it'll multiple times tell you to check out the Reddit app, even though your web browser is perfectly capable of displaying a JPEG. But in response to Reddit's decision to do this, a lot of Redditors haven't liked it, and specifically Reddit mods have tried to come together. I say try because this hasn't happened just yet, and essentially do a Reddit blackout. The first post or first line of this came from our videos, where the moderators basically said that they don't think it's fair that Reddit is trying to charge so much money. They don't think it's fair that Reddit is trying to kick out these third-party developers, and that as a protest, they're going to shut down their subreddit from June 12th to the 15th as a form of revolting against this decision. Now, along with our videos, other subreddits came out of the woodworks, different gaming subreddits, other subreddits, even small subreddits that I browse have proposed joining this Reddit shutdown or this Reddit blackout, basically to say that we don't support your business decision, they're not happy with it, and they're doing this protest for the company to pay attention to them. Now, Reddit admins and Reddit as a company has been pretty careful to try to keep their moderators happy for the reason that they actually do an unpaid job. You know, they literally look at Reddit for hours on end, removing things, adding things, updating things for the net pay of $0.0. So having them around is a bonus, as free labor, and at the same time they do add a lot to the website, because if a subreddit doesn't exist, a lot of people may not use the website. And in the past, Reddit has listened to certain suggestions. For example, reddit.com has an old.reddit.com where you can have your subreddits have CSS, whereas the new Reddit doesn't allow that. So it's like Reddit is keeping this old version as well as new version of the website around because they wanted to keep moderators and users happy. But I don't know. I feel like as the website has progressed, they've become less and less keen to listening to the user base, the moderators, and users in general. They add certain features, they remove certain things. I mean, there's been a lot of posts recently where Reddit has literally removed it from a subreddit, even if a moderator wanted it to stay up, because they think it's not appropriate for the website. Again, they're going towards that IPO. And not too long ago, Reddit kind of went the way of Tumblr in terms of not promoting or showing not safe for work content. There's still explicit stuff on Reddit, but it's much harder to find and it's not promoted. It's much harder to find, it's not promoted. Again, this was done to make their IPO look better to investors. And as this moves forward, I wonder if Reddit as a company will start to take more and more powers away from moderators, because for a long time, mods have had a lot of power on Reddit. I mean, really, if you have a subreddit with millions of users, and in some cases, there's some moderators who have multiple subreddits with millions of users, they have a lot of power, they have a lot of sway, and they may have different motivations as to why they want to keep a subreddit open or closed. And as time moves on, I wonder if Reddit will start taking this power away so they can have more control over the website and not have to listen to people complaining. I mean, this is a company that is partially owned by Tencent, which is a Chinese corporation, and you know how Chinese don't really like people protesting. And me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Reddit mods. I mean, I've seen some corny behavior in the past, but what they're doing is actually pretty admirable and it's pretty important. I mean, imagine if you could do this on other websites when they were doing something stupid. Like, imagine when YouTube's like, yo, we're going to disable the dislike button. You're like, you know what? I'm going to take part of your website down. oh, we're going to add something called Google Plus, and it's going to delete your YouTube account, and now you have a Google Plus account. Oh, okay, I'm going to just take part of your website down because that's a dummy decision. Like, if there was actually some type of system of checks and balances, a lot of dumb decisions would be avoided. And one thing that people have brought up multiple times during this whole Reddit debacle is the fact that the only reason Reddit is even really popular is because a predecessor website called Dig did something similarly stupid, got rid of majority of their user base, so much so that they went to Reddit and they started popping off and having a good time there. Now, the only problem is I can't think of any real Reddit alternatives. The one website that I used a long time ago was called Ruckus. Unfortunately, that has been sunsetted, dead, and it's gone. So at this point, it's pretty much between 4chan and bodybuilding forums for meme content, which, you know, slim pickings on that part. But I think what the Reddit mods are doing is a good thing. I think it's very rare mod W, very, very rare mod W. And I think that after this, Reddit will more than likely try to respond to this, make a statement, or in any way possible, ignore it and try to take more powers away from moderators, because they must be sweating hard, knowing that now they actually have to be somewhat accountable whenever they want to make a legitimately regarded decision. So I don't know how this is going to play out. June 12th is coming. Reddit is going to have parts of it down. I don't know if this will be a huge difference. I don't know if this is going to change anything. But hey, man, at least people are trying and not going down without a fight. It's actually something that makes me want to be a moderator so I can help people. But then I remember I don't have 23 hours a day and I actually need to work for a living, and that kind of blows it up. But still, it's pretty cool.
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!